Alright, welcome back folks, I am tbham, bringing you Game 2 between Mineskiller and Justice from the XT in-house tournament. Spawning in the bottom right corner of Whirlwind, the unfortunate loser of last game. It is our Teal Zerg player, it is Justice. And his opponent, up 1-0 in this best of 3 series, is our Pink Zerg player, it is Mineskiller. Justice got caught last game. He died to a whole lot of early Lings and Banes. Justice was kind of attempting to tech up pretty early. He hit out on his 3rd and 4th gases while his opponent was still on just 2. And he just didn't have enough to hold off all of the Lings and Banes that Mines threw at him. Mines actually does an extractor trick here. So he waited until 10 to start his Overlord, but nothing too drastic there. Both players still droning up right now. Mineskiller is actually, I think he's going to be 11 pulling or 12 pulling here. He is saving up his minerals, and yes, there is a pool coming down early, and such a large map. It's really not expected. It's very easy to just to go hatch first on this map since it is so large and it takes so long to scout your opponent unless you get lucky and find them on the first try. You see a lot of just hatch first play, but that also lets you kind of meta that and go for these early pools. Justice is getting a 14 pool, so Mines' earlier pool may not do too much, but he is getting gas. So you will have a quick speed and possibly some really quick banelings as well. And if Justice is just doing a normal gasless expands, which he does seem like he is doing, he already has his natural hatch down. And it will take him a long time to find his opponent. Overlords are both going the obvious directions that they should go, but they're not going to see anything since they are cross-spawn on Whirlwind, and this is such a huge map. 4 Lings already on the way for Mineskiller. Queen also, 2 more Lings, an extractor trick to oversupply. He's going to be pushing out. It's a lot of units really early. These Lings are likely, they're going to stay here for a while. Speed has started, so he's going to be going for speed, and he is staying in gas. So it expects to be a Bailey Nest coming out fairly soon. First Queen is on the way for Justice. He is getting his gas. He's going to have to hope that he can get into his opponent's base and see what's going on and see all this early tech. And it is going to be a Bailey Nest coming out, and still no expansion. So when Justice gets over to this area with his Overlord, his Lings are just now moving across the map. And whenever they see that there is no natural, he's going to be kind of in oh crap mode. He is getting one more Queen. He'll have 2 Queens out, which can block off the ramp and hold off a lot of this, but without some decent Spinecrawler hits and the Queens really focusing down those banelings, all this early aggression could do a lot of damage. And right away, Justice is going to see there's 6 Lings out right in his face, and he's going to see that there is no natural yet, and that's going to be a huge red flag. Expect to see a Bailey Nest coming out from him quite soon. He's getting his own speed right now. These Queens are already getting in position to block off this ramp. Either going to see, he may pull all these drones back to his natural to try to or back to his main to try to save them, or try to put down some Spinecrawlers and hold his natural. But it looks like Mineskiller is not going to expand. He's still on 15 drones right now, and these first Lings are making their way across the map. Bailey Nest is finished, and 6 Banes are being morphed in. A nice little kind of blind spot that's really hard to find. And right now, Justice just has a lot of slow Lings, and banelings against slow Lings is not too. It's not a great time. He is making Spinecrawlers main. The Bailey Nest is on the way, but there's just a lot of units right now. These Spinecrawlers at his natural are never going to finish, and almost gets his Lings all completely surrounded. These Bailings have nice hits. The Queens are here. However, the ramp is now free and clear for everything to move in, and huge Bailey hit there. Justice has almost no army in his left, and these Spinecrawlers are going to have to kind of save his life here. He will likely lose his natural. There's really nothing for him to hold it with. He's going to have to wait for this Bailey Nest to finish. These Lings popping out will have to turn into Banelings almost immediately. 3 more Banes on the way. 1 more Bane here, but there's still so many Lings against not much for Justice, and Mineskiller is choosing to just continue continue just sending lings across the map. And these lings are going to come here and take out all of these drones. He's only at 1 worker killed right now, but that is rapidly increasing. Spinecaller is doing a good amount of work, has 5 kills, but right now it is 16 to 11 drones, so it's not completely dire, but just the production potential right now is way in Mine's favor. He still has his queen, whereas Justice's queen is quite dead. And Mineskiller even has a drone lead right now, and he's just going to back off right now. He knows that he could get countered, and that's exactly what Justice is going to try to do. He's going to try to move across the map and do basically what he did the last game, where hope that your opponent doesn't have much back home to defend, and do some damage of your own. Mine's looking like he's going to save up and try to take his natural right now. He does have 350 minerals, and we'll probably see a natural come up eventually, but even right now, Justice is having to run away. He just doesn't have as many lings, and he doesn't have a queen right now either. So those arbor injects are kind of a big deal. Mine's natural is coming down, along with 2 Evo chambers, and these drones are just being silly. And a slight worker lead, but again, it's just having that queen still alive and still able to inject is such a huge deal in ZVZ. Having that production potential means a lot. Justice does have a queen out, and he's going to try to retake his natural, but still, there's going to be quite a lead for Mineskiller here. And he's going to get a free bathing for 1 lane. Always difficult to try to control everything at once when that happens. Justice momentarily cancels his natural. I assume that was just a misclick. It's a small disappointment, and it was a loss of 75 minerals just for basically nothing. Another queen on the way for Justice. He's really just going to try to force this game into a little bit longer. Drone difference isn't too bad right now. It is 20 to 15, but 1-1 on the way for Mineskiller, and there's no chance for a long time that Justice is going to be able to get up his Evo chambers and get up to 1-1, and he's just going to fall behind in upgrades. He still has a chance with really good banding hits and some other good engagements. He has a chance to come back in this game and do a lot of damage. But for now, Mineskiller's natural is already finished, and he is starting to drone that up. And this drone lead is going to skyrocket in a bit. Justice's natural is still only about 75% done. So Mineskiller is content to let this game go a lot longer. Might see a layer come out soon, since these upgrades are close to finishing. He may just want to go for a 1-1 timing, and given how many lings are coming out, it looks like that might be the case. He's got a lot of bands right now and a lot of lings, and he's making more lings as it stands, and not too many more drones. 1-1 is going to be finishing quite soon, and with that, he may just push across the map and try to take out his opponent. Just maybe we'll try to take third and hope that his opponent doesn't do it. Has to take some sort of risk right now in order to get back into this game. Drone lead is still decent, but that's mainly because Mineskiller has decided to stop droning. Justice is going to see this moving across the map now. He sees this trail of banelings moving across, slow banelings. Always upsetting to see. Justice is getting his lair. Maybe expect to like a Spire play or roaches, but there's just not enough gas right now. And he's having to morph in his own banelings just to hold off the aggression that's going to be coming at him. Army Spy right now is 29-16 in favor of Mineskiller, which isn't huge, but since it is all 1 supply units, it's a bit of a big deal. And not the greatest of Bane hits from Justice, but it does do a fair amount of damage, and with a lot of lings in his main base still. There's only the 1 Baneling left. How many Banelings left? There's still 2 Banelings for Mineskiller, but they're just kind of wandering around trying to find something to attack. There's probably 1 back in his base somewhere. Yeah, he still has 1 back in his base. And he's kind of pushing here and trying to do some damage, but he's not doing a lot of damage right now. And he's only up 6 workers, and he just lost a lot of larvae, and he's still putting a lot of larvae just into lings. And he's still producing nothing but lings, and it is going to be a Spire for Justice. I kind of want me to do it. He doesn't have basically any gas. He's having to put so much gas into these banelings just to defend. And the Spire comes out, he's probably only going to have enough for 1 or 2 meters. However, he's going to push out and take an engagement outside of his natural before Mineskiller is able to morph those banelings, but 1-1 is done, and it is an obvious advantage to have 1-1 against 0-0. The banelings don't want even one-shot the links at that point, and Meanwhile, Mineskiller is getting +1 for his ranged attack and going in the lair. So maybe, did he... I'm curious if he scouted the Spire or not. He hasn't scouted the Spire yet. So he's probably just planning to switch over to Roaches and eventually Hydras. But with that lair, and still no third yet, both players are still on such a low economy right now. 37 drones to 26. And no third from either player right now. Mineskiller's Lings are sitting over here, just kind of keeping tabs on making sure nothing's coming in. And in case an attack does come, he's able to surround if he wanted to. And he is spotting this slight move out from Justice. He has a fair amount of units right now. It's 25 Lings to 19 Lings, and 6 Banelings to 1. And there are 3 mutas on the way. That again was just so little gas for Justice. But the mutas could do a fair bit of damage. However, as soon as Mines manages to spot the Spire, he's going to be able to throw down the Super Spores, as they are now. They do so much damage. And this Overlord is going to see here and see the... Actually, he sees the mutas and he does see the Spire. So we expect to see, 4 Spore Colors on the way. 4 in his main, and there's 3 in his nat. So he's not going to let this do any damage. These mutas are going to roam around and take out as many Overlords as they possibly can. Mines does have speed for his Overlords. He's able to run away if he wants to. And he is doing so with some Overlords that are out in the middle of the map. It's just going to try to do some damage with what he has. He's still down 10 workers right now, which is a large amount at this point in the game. Hydrogen also on the way for Mineskiller. +1 range is finished, +1 care stun. So he's got +1 across the board for everything. And roach speed is just about done. Still not too many mutas, only 3 right now. 2 more just about to pop. Actually, he's up to 8 now. And so they could sneak in and do some damage, but these Spore Colors are just spread so wonderfully for Mineskiller. He's got him protecting everything that he can. Just protection of everything. So there's not much that these are going to be able to do. Justice is going to be taking his third now. Again, try to get a lead somehow. The mutas will do a good job of denying any third attempt for a while until there are these Hydras that are out, able to push them away. But with the amount of Lings that Justice has, and combined with the mutas, he may be able to deny a third for long enough to really get back in this game. And with his own third near finishing, our upgrades right now, he still has no upgrades, and there are no Eva Chambers right now. And small engagement is going to happen. Oh no. He sees the Hydras and he knows he has to run away. And this amount of units moving across the map is a bit scary for Justice. Army's player now 65 to 40. And the upgrades, it is +1/+1 for melee and for ranged. And these mutas trying to take out things that they can before the Hydras come in and are able to just eat these mutas alive. Especially with +1/+1 against no upgrades. But they're just not really able to kill much. He's going to try to hold this third as best he can. He does have everything in position to do so. He's got a lot of Banelings in his main. And these Banelings will do a good amount of damage to the Hydras. But there are so many Roaches that they should be able to tank all these Baneling shots. And this third doesn't have much of a shot to survive. Hydras are just zoning out these mutas. Baneling's going to try to roll in here and kill off all the Hydras, but with the Roaches surrounding the Hydras, there's not much of a chance for those Hydras to die. Banelings get a good amount of hits, but there are still 7 Hydras alive, and the third does die. Behind this, it's still just... Justice has taken a worker lead, so that's a bit of a nice little win for him there. But right now, Army Supply is 68 to 35. And it's what the Army Supply is. It's mainly just mutas for Justice compared to this ground force, this upgraded ground force, and 7 more Hydras on the way. So Mineskiller kind of knows that the only thing that can really hurt him are these mutas, and so he's doing what he can just to push us away. And with the amount of Hydras that he has coming in, Hydra speed just finished. He does have Hydra range already, so these mutas aren't going to be able to do too much. Justice does see that this third is going to be coming down here in a second. Oh, there's the drum for it. This Hydra is going to take him out pretty quickly. And these Overlords here are going to spread creep. So he's able to put down some spawning or spore crawlers to fend off those mutas from coming in and trying to take up this third. And he's doing just that. He is making 2 more spore crawlers right next to the third. So right now it's kind of still transitioning. +1 carapace is finished for the mutas. That'll help a little bit against these hydras. But +2/+2 for range on the way for Mineskiller. And it looks like Justice is just trying to put everything he has into these mutas. And with this Baneling support, more or less, because Lings aren't going to do too much against these roaches, but Banelings can do a lot of damage to the hydras if they're able to get in on them. But right now, both players are trying to secure the thirds, and it's quite difficult. Hydras are surrounding roaches, and there's just a nice little ball here for Mineskiller. We need to see everything that's coming at him, and he's going to try to scoot in there, but nice peel off from Mines, getting the roaches in front, so they would take the damage from the Banelings. And Mineskiller's just going to try to find a position that he can get in here and just take out this third, once again deny it. And nice spread from Mines. He knows that the Banelings are what could really hurt him, and this third is going to go down once again. Justice is going to run here and just take out what he can. It's just basically do or die for him. He's going to try to clean up this entire army. Banelings going straight for the hydras, and the mutas are trying to focus down the hydras one by one, and they're doing a good job of that. He's swinging the supplies almost back into his favor. He's still down 20 supply. And work count is once again very much in Mine's favor. There's nothing but roaches left and a couple hydras. So these mutas are going to be able to take out all the roaches eventually if they want to. But Mines knows that, and he knows he has his third up, and Justice does not have a third. So he's going to just fall back and continue to macro up as he saturates his third base. Mutas kind of chasing these roaches across the map. But +1, just still +1 carapace for the mutas. And 1/1 finish for all of his range, and 2/2 just about to finish with more hydras in the way. The mutas are going to try to swing in here, but they see the spore crawler and they have to run away because 45 damage per shot to mutas is quite a bit. He's going to try to get in here and just one-shot these spore crawlers, and it doesn't quite work. He does lose 1 muta at that point for that. He still is just unable to really do any damage to this hatch. He does force the drones away, but his entire army is here and making another spore crawler. The spore crawler is going to burrow again. So these mutas are really having a hard time getting any work done, and he's still stuck on this composition of mutas and lings, unupgraded lings really, against hydras and roaches with 2/2. And with the worker count right now, 41-29, extremely low for this stage of the game. And he's just going to try to pick off what he can in between these bases, taking out drones when he can. Small little victories, everything that he wants right now. Almost gets some of those mutas sniped, but he does pull away. Again, it's just Banelings and mutas really. This one little ling is just picking away at this Baneling that's morphing, and he's actually going to kill it, and he's probably going to get another one, and at least one of these will maybe explode on this singular ling. Justice is going to swing in here again and try to take out this third, while trying to zone out his army with the Banelings. The roaches are doing a good job of really just forcing those away. Justice is trying to do this as surgically as he can. Swinging in here, picking out 1 spore crawler and running away. But another huge engagement. These Banelings are all trying to run in here and get to the hydras. They do get some decent damage, and they kill a lot of workers there. Work count is, once again, only 5 in favor of Mines. But army supply is still in favor of Mineskiller by a good 30 supply, and Justice is just going to try to go in here and kill off every single one of these hydras so he can just have free reign. But the 2/2 upgrades against just 0/1 is really a bit difficult. He's marking as best he can, but he's just going to go GG Webler there. He knew he was down there. So Mineskiller takes a quick 2-0, and we'll move on to the second round of this in-house tournament. Once again, I am tbham. You can find me on Twitch, twitch.tv/tbham, at tbhamsc on Twitter, and you can find our team at Xtraterrestrials.us. I'll post all those links in the YouTube description. Thank you, and later.